Hi, here from TCS.
Hi, sir.
How?
Hi, Shubham.
Yeah, so can you please tell us about yourself, the work you have been doing?
Okay, so as you know, my name is and I am an iOS developer and with an experience of around 5 years. And I joined TCS around August 2022. From that, I worked as a part of data pay, and my responsibilities are responsible for migrating the existing iOS application to Flutter, and I also got a chance to learn Flutter. And before joining TCS, I worked as an iOS developer, where I worked on an application named TMS Falcon. It is for truck drivers, and and this is like my brief introduction. Yeah.
Okay, so currently you are working in TCS, right?
Yes.
Okay. So where are you from exactly?
I'm from a small town named Ropar. It's in Punjab, very near to Chandigarh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a northern part of India.
Oh, okay, yeah, got it. So what was your role or responsibility in your earlier project?
Okay, so there I worked as a developer, and I introduced two new feature into the application, and I communicate with the client and deliver build, and also make the app live on App Store. And a company before the Cloud Metrics, that is the company before TCS. I worked like I also handle team as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So what you want to add something?
No, I'm good. So currently you're working on the Flutter project on. Yeah, actually I got released from that project, so I'm looking for a new project at present. But yeah, earlier I was given a chance to learn Flutter and be a part of the migration process. So yeah. So how did you migrate from iOS to Flutter? Means what are the code changes you done? Okay, so there the UI remains the same. So we just have to create the UI components, that is the widgets. So after that, we use Mobex for the state management, and after that, in between, I got released from that. So this is what I've done. I have developed multiple widgets, like components that are reusable in the project, and yes, that I have done. So widgets means like table view cells, collection view cells, like that, views. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So what is mean by the state managements? It's like protocols or neighbors. They have like a Mobex. It's for passing data from one widget to another. Yeah, they in Flutter we have a stateful widget and stateless. So stateful means a widget that can interact with users and show data. Stateless just show data. So Mobex is used to like show data between them from the API. Got it. So is there any like third party tool, like we need to import our existing iOS project into Flutter and then do it, or it's a file by file you are converting? Actually, we have created a new project, the Flutter one. After that, we started making the widgets, and likewise, like because we have the code base for the app that is live on App Store, but we want the new version, because the client want to have the same code base like for Android and Swift, and so this is the reason they want to migrate.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you can continue.
Yeah. Okay. So, Shubham, have you heard about protocol in Swift?
Yeah,
Can you?
I have.
Yeah. Can you explain?
Actually, protocols are a set of rules that we define inside a protocol so that any structure or any class can inherit it and implement that the functions that are uh, written inside a protocol. So this is like the overall.
Okay. And so, what is the difference between view did load and view did appear?
Okay, so view did load. View did appear means the view has already loaded onto the screen and the user can see that is the view did appear. View did load, that the view is going to load, like did load. So this is the difference. And view did load called only once in the view controller lifecycle, but view did appear calls every time we comment back using the navigation. So this is the like difference between them.
Okay. And out of view did load and view did appear, which should be used to load data from a remote server to display in the view?
I think view did load. View did appear means the view is already loaded, so there is no like benefit of calling API inside view did appear. So view did load is the answer.
Okay. And how do you debug an iOS app?
Okay, so I just run the application onto the simulator or external device and start running it, see if there is any crash, or I just start to read the code, or sometimes they have the crashlytics implemented, so that tell us about a particular line of code that we want to go and check out. And yeah, this is how I would debug.
So, do you use debugger mode in Xcode for that?
Yeah.
Okay. And when app is launched, what are its state transition like? When we launch app, what are its state transitions?
Okay, so first of all, it would be in terminator state, like it is not in the background. So then it is inactive, then active. So yeah, this is like inactive, then active. Active means it is the first screen is visible to user and it is receiving notifications. Inactive is a small transition between the terminator state and the like the active state. This is the three states that comes from launching the application.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, what are the methods which will be called when you launch the app? Starting point, starting method. So okay, so I think application will finish launching with options. I think this will be called the first one. Then did finish launching with option, the second one. These are the two that called like when the application gets launched. These are part of app delegate. Okay. So when does the methods like active, foreground, background methods call? Like, can you give an example? At what cases we can use those? It depends upon the state of the application. They go like did become did enter background. So that whenever the app goes background state, that will called, and will finish launching. Like the app is going to launch. Did means the app has launched. So this is called. So consider when we are using the app and you get a phone call. So yes. What is the scenario it causes? App becomes inactive in that scenario, first of all, because the another app is using. So this is so did enter background. I can say it will be called. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. So, are you aware of agile methodology? In your earlier
Yes.
project, which software development model you were using? Agile or something else?
Yeah, after in TCS, I have used Agile and then Waterfall. But earlier companies I have worked with Kanban also. Yes, these are the and the tool they use is Jira board,
Okay.
and earlier we have Kanban board. So this is
Okay. So can you give some detail about Agile,
okay. So
yeah. Go ahead,
in,
Shubham.
in Agile, like we do the sprint planning.
Mm-hmm.
And we in Agile we have like 2 weeks of sprint, and we have certain tasks,
Mm-hmm.
and we assign that task to developers, and then developer start work on them, and then change the states depending upon the current state of the application or the work they are doing. After that we have to check the do the testing, and then we have to uh, 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 close that sprint. So then we have to plan for another sprint. So this is how it goes. But we have the burn down based upon the work that is left. So burn down chart is also created, and the agile is a 2 week, and we have retrospective also after every sprint based so to get the feedback from the developers so they can improve, and the method also.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So great. Have you released app on the App Store before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So can you tell me its procedure?
Okay, so first of all, it depends upon whether the application has the push notification capability or not. Okay, so if it has the push notification capability, we have to create certificates for APNS also. Okay, so let's take the scenario that the notification capability is not there. So first of all, we create certificate for the for development. First we create distribution certificate, then we create the distribution profile onto the Apple developer portal, and uh, uh, um, and then we go to iTunes Connect. We create our application, add the bundle identifier that is the same as in the Xcode, and we create the application onto the iTunes Connect. We enter all the informations, URLs, contact details, and all. After that, in our Xcode, we start to archive the application so that all its binary gets uploaded to iTunes Connect. Once the binary gets uploaded to iTunes Connect, we can launch the application. After the Apple review, it would be ready for sale.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what is the difference between bundle ID and app ID?
Okay, so bundle ID is something that we define. It is the reverse URL like com.app name, and the app ID is something that we get from the App Store after we register the application on that.
Okay. So do you want to ask more technical question, or we are good?
Yeah, I think yeah. So, did you got the chance to work with GCD and operation queues? Uh, yes, I have worked. Actually, GCD is Apple framework for memory management, and for if we want to perform certain tasks, we can make use of operation queues. Like we want to perform a task serially, or that we can use the operation queue. So, what are other differences we can use operation queues? I'm sorry, I didn't get like. No. Like when can we use the GCD and when can we use the operation queues? In which scenarios? GCD, like we don't have to do anything. Apple do its work on its own, and based upon the reference count. The object gets reallocated based on the retain count it has, and for the operation queue, like we have two APIs. One API is dependent upon another. So so in that case, we can use operation queue, so that we want the a task to be performed in a serial way. So this is the something that I found a difference between both.
Okay. So did you work with any data storages in the app, like storing?
Yeah, earlier I use SQLite, and but I have also created a demo for core data as well.
Okay. So when can we use the SQLite and core data?
Actually, that was a legacy code app, so that they have SQLite implemented. So, but for as I have read online, core data is the like wrapper on SQLite and Apple's own framework. So we I think earlier app has SQLite, but the newer app has the core data because it is the Apple native one. It depends upon the requirement, I can say. But it's hard to choose, but I'll go for the core data because it's the Apple native one, but SQLite is third party we can use.
Okay. So were you using NS user defaults?
NS user defaults I use to store small amount of data, like a boolean flag, like is user logged in, or the bearer token, or some information that is a very small one. So I use NS user default in that case.
Okay. So where do you store the sensitive type of data?
Okay, so
like login username, password.
It depends upon like user passwords. Passwords I didn't save. I use the bearer token that I saved in the P list.
Okay. So does the bearer token expire for every 8 hours like that?
The app that I have worked, bearer token only expires if the user log out of the application. But for this, we have to implement something else. If the token gets expired after 8 hours, so we have to fetch some. There would be some API or that can fetch the new bearer token, because user don't want to log in again and again.
Got it. Okay. So when implementing the API structures, like how are you calling the network calls like that in your app?
Okay, so I make use of Alamofire for making API calls, and I use codable structures for making the models for API. Sorry.
So you are not using the NSURL sessions?
I didn't use it till now, but yeah, I have read that it is the Alamofire is a wrapper on a URL session. So URL session we can get data task. So yeah, I can do that, but I haven't done till now.
Yeah. So what are the architectures you are working with?
Okay, so I have worked with MVC, and I created one demo for MVVM for learning purposes. Actually, I have worked on legacy codes, so this is something that I have to work and debug and like work with the legacy code. So MVCS for learning purposes, I have worked with MVVM.
So what was the major difference you saw in both architectures, MVC and MVVM?
Okay, so while working with the old code, I found that the view controller is quite bulky and it is very tightly coupled with the UI, and so so cope so to cope with that, I learned MVVM. So in MVVM there are like three layers: model, view, and view model. So view is irrespective of the model, and we have the intermediator, that is view model, and it has all the business logic, and based on that it communicates the show the data onto the UI by fetching it from the model.
So where will you call the API call in this?
So API call I try to do in view model.
Okay.
And then call the view model instance in the controller, like the view. So
Okay.
based on the logic, show the data.
So will you use any frameworks for communicating from view model to view?
I didn't actually. I did it for learning purposes, for
Okay.
the MVP part. Yes, but I am like learning every day, watching videos, so that.
Okay. So did you work on Swift UI?
Yeah, Swift UI is a new framework. For learning purposes, yes, I have started like watching Udemy courses to to keep myself up to date with the upcoming framework for the UI.
Okay. So what is the difference you saw from Swift and Swift UI?
UI is like declarative way. In UI kit we have like XIBs and storyboard, but in Swift UI we don't have that. We have like hot reload in Swift UI. This is the feature of Swift UI, and this is like the basic difference I found.
Okay. So did you saw any difference, like how we are loading the data reactively?
Yeah, actually, in Swift UI, the views are basically structures, so they are like very fast for loading data and reusable. So this is thing for with the Swift UI.
Okay. So in the view model, there will be states, right? Like whenever you change the data, it automatically triggers.
Yes, we have like I make like loading state, showing state, error state. These like states I declared.
So I have one question for this
Yes.
Swift UI. So what is the structure of Swift UI app, and how does it differ from a UI kit app?
Okay, so in UI Kit app we have the initial view controller that loads up whenever our app launch, and in Swift UI we have the initial controller that we define in the content view, so that get loaded, and I found that Swift UI is pretty fast in terms of loading UI. This is something I found.
Okay. And what are the different layout options available in Swift UI?
Actually, I'm not pretty don't know about them.
Okay, no worries.
Actually, I'm watching a video side by side. Like this is the thing, but I'll prep it. I have write down. I will know.
Okay. Yeah, Varun, and continue.
Yeah. So do you know? Did you ever looked at the memory leaks, or what are the root causes of memory leaks?
Root causes is like the return cycle, I can say, because the reference counts gets higher. We have if we don't keep track of the references by default, it is strong reference. So they would possibility of memory leak, and we sometimes the memory leak is also in closures. So this results in memory leaks. But there is a portal inside Xcode where we can watch the memory leaks.
So what is the tool you use it like to find out the memory leaks, sir?
Product, then there is on top right, fifth option, product. Okay, so product, then I'm sorry, I didn't recall. There is an option from the top menu. We can go there and we can it would restart our application and check for the objects counts, and we get to know that there is a memory leak. It is option a product, then I didn't recall it.
Okay, so whenever you click on that particular thing, you'll get a graph and you'll detect the memory leak there.
Yeah, I click on that, and then there is a start button which rerun our application, and when it's rerun, we perform the task that we want to, going from one view controller to another. We can do task and check if there is a memory leak. It will show that there is a leak.
Okay.
This is what I have done. There might be some other things that I will look into it.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I am good. You can ask the next questions.
Yeah, Varun, I'm also good with the technical questions. So, Shubham, we will share one coding question with you, and accordingly, you have to develop one weather forecast app. Okay, so you have to develop this app as if you are going to upload it on the App Store. So, prepare accordingly and revert us as soon as possible with your development, and you have to upload this code on the GitHub. So once we'll receive the code, we'll evaluate it and our team will get back to you. Okay?
Have anything to add?
No, I think, yeah. So you can develop it in the GitHub and try to give the URL link once you push the code.
Okay, sure, I'll do that.